It's close enough.
Yeah, there you go. He's like, you got the curves. What was he talking about? Hips. He's like, you got the hips.
Yeah.
I like the hips.
I like that. That's
Yeah,
right.
I like the hips.
We all look wonderful,
win them
beautiful,
all.
healthy,
Okay.
and happy, and that's great.
Lord, glad we got up
And
here.
you look
Way out
wonderful
work.
too, Paige.
We just went to Ponzio's.
Well,
For a couple of
Snap-
things.
was it
snap-
good?
Oh yeah, real good.
I'll be right
All right.
Had snapper soup.
Snappers.
Yeah, we got some
Hey.
snapper soup.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Are they coming in? Lois and Ted.
Who?
Lois and Ted, are they coming in?
She said they are, and I don't know.
Okay.
Are they coming over?
Maybe.
Maybe yes, maybe no. It's not to interfere with any one way or another. We won't let it break up our whatever you had in mind, because I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and do nothing. I haven't even shaved in like 4 days.
Good for you.
No,
Why
look
bother?
good. Relax.
Missy outside.
Yeah, she was just on her way out the door.
Oh, are you?
So
To
she-
feed the birds?
The
Squirrels?
birdies.
The birdies.
The bird.
You going? Do you
She's
want us
going to Bernie. You know Bernie. Remember Bernie?
No.
Do you want us to go up there with you, Ruth?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can go with you. One
Oh,
of
you're
us.
going to Bernie's.
There's
I remember
4 of
Bernie's.
us.
Sure, Bernie.
Can I go to the bathroom real quick and I'll go up
Yeah,
with you?
here you are. You go right in here. If you want
Maybe we should
to.
visit Grandad.
Well, I was gonna go with Ruth so she doesn't have to go by
Oh,
herself.
listen. I will make it.
You know how girls are. We gotta go together.
Yeah.
You should stay with your grandfather.
Well, you don't mind this old man. I can say you're marvelous for even wanting to come up.
Oh, we're having a great time.
That's good. That's good.
It's wonderful in the cold weather. I haven't done cold weather in so long.
Yeah,
All right,
well,
I'm
it's
gonna
cold
go to
enough
the
to
bath. That's the
enjoy. It makes you want to feel like smoking
I
again.
will. Yeah. Not me. I've never been a big
I'll come
smoker.
with you.
As
If
this
you'd
guy
like, I
has a
could drive.
roommate.
I've never
Tell me
been
where
a
to
big
go.
smoker.
No.
But that's up
No,
to you.
that's your
that's
car.
right. You never
Well,
smoke.
I like to be a passenger, so. if you wanna
Anyway,
go
all that
back-
fresh air, I say, well,
It feels good though.
that's how I learned to quit. Nice cold day when you make a pretend cigarette. And say,
Oh yeah.
boy, that's good tobacco. Let out a stream of smoke.
Blow out.
Well, that's good. Inhale deep, in as deep as you can get. Oh, that's nothing but fresh
Who
air.
does that?
Exercise your lungs.
Not
Talk
Paige.
about smoke. I don't smoke.
No.
No
I
smoke.
never. I've tried, but nah.
Nuh-uh.
Try.
No smokers.
Don't
No.
be sorry mixed with me. I don't know why.
That's good.
We went by your old house, Mom. The
Oh, did
DeHart
ya?
old house. Yep.
Did you?
Yeah,
The
saw that.
mountain, the lake looks
That was neat.
pretty
You were
good
born.
there.
You were born in that house,
Born
right?
and bred.
In that- yeah.
And
Born and bred.
circumcised.
Yeah, and circumcised in that house too, huh?
Circumcised on the dining room table.
Is that funny?
Told me.
Is that
Well,
funny?
that's what they tell
On
me.
the dining room table?
And you're born on the
That's
dining room
what,
table.
that's what they said. Well, I wasn't born on the dining room table. They said
Okay.
the doctor took me out there and circumcised me.
Right on the dining room table.
Yeah.
That's
But they did say that my father, I had the cord around my neck somehow, and that
Oh,
my
really?
father was there because the doctor couldn't get there. It was snowing, they said, that night, and he was late
Really?
getting out. Uh-huh.
So he delivered the baby?
So he delivered me. He
your
tells
dad
me,
did?
he takes credit for
No,
it.
I'll go with
DeHart.
you.
Yeah.
You should
But
Wow.
I had the
I'll be
umbilical cord around my neck.
mother.
And he
And
got
there's a
it
name for that too, but I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's
it
quite
happens
common, they say,
sometimes,
yeah.
sure.
Drive with you so
They
we
have to pull it off. Your poor mother, laboring, with no drugs. Couldn't imagine. Personally.
Yeah, well,
You know, you're just like, ah!
that's what they say.
Because you had,
But when you think of it, it's terrible because this guy I had as a roommate who was sort of my salvation over there at this hospital
yeah.
because he was like a nut like I am, I guess you might say. But anyway, we had the same kind of a mind where, I don't know, and he wasn't real old. He's about like Uncle Tom's age, about 62,
okay.
62, 63.
Okay.
But he was saying, Yeah, I'm going to go out on that back step. I'm going to smoke 60 feet of cigarettes.
60 feet is.
Yeah, So he was going, I think he said he'd been for 3 weeks without cigarettes. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out there. Well, what happened, just to make a long story out of it, he had broken his hip and was about ready for discharge when he I won't say fainted, but passed out somehow and fell again and broke the other hip.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so he never did get out of the hospital, and he was in there going through the same thing I was going through,
Again.
just waiting to get better for time to fix things.
Right.
And the therapy of rehabilitation, whatever they call that.
Rehabilitation.
It's all, it's kind of mostly waiting time.
Right.
Yeah.
So you glad to be back?
But he was good company for me.
That's good.
Yeah, was good.
And that was at Manor Care?
At Manor Care and at the, I don't know what the hell they call it. I call it the space station.
The space station? Why?
Yeah, I don't know, because it looked like a space station.
Did it really?
No, well, it's just that. What else do you call things? I don't know.
You're like, it's like a space
And it
station.
seemed like when Melissa came in, I thought I was out in Ohio
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's funny. Well, that's all the medication they give you too. Makes you
I don't
loopy.
know.
Well, I came in and gave you hugs and kisses and said, "Hi, it's Melissa. I came in from Ohio to visit you." And I think that just stuck with you.
You kept thinking you
Yeah.
were in Ohio.
And you were cold a lot because
I
I'm
was still cold.
Yeah, they had the hospital so
Yeah.
cold. You were in your gown because they had to. You still had your incision and everything. So you were real cold, and you just got it in your head that you were in Ohio, huh?
I couldn't get warm for some reason.
Yeah.
Even with blankets on you and.
Yeah.
Did they take your? I took your staples out. How's your scar?
Oh
You
yeah,
got a
well,
nice
that's
scar
all,
down your leg, do you? So you're getting up good.
You're doing great.
Well, they say don't sit on anything soft, so I'm sitting on something soft.
They said don't.
They say don't sit anything where your hips are lower than your knees.
You're sitting
you're
on
doing
it.
that.
What else can you do? Everything in here is the same way.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, get something with good, strong support,
To push up.
like arm rests where you can push up.
And that's
And I do
strong.
that.
Yeah, so that's good.
And that's the best advice. And I find there's a lot of questionable advice that these people give you, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But then I question everything because I'm a natural born skeptic.
Oh yeah, you gotta be sure about that.
Are
Yeah,
you
this is
able to
cute.
drive, Grandad?
I haven't driven yet, no, but
I mean, are you?
I'm sure I am able to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, when your legs get
Because
better.
I've been riding out with Ruthie,
Uh huh.
and I enjoy that.
Then they say it's okay. Do they have to give you certain things you're allowed to do?
Oh, hell yeah, I had to pass a test.
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
witnessed by two whatever therapists, whatever they call them, technicians. What are they?
Physical therapist.
Physical therapist?
They're all certified and
Something.
government approved and all this
Sure.
other crap that we voted for George Bush for.
Oh yeah.
And I understand from Cara that you're not George Bush
She
people.
told on us.
But there's
Did she
none.
tell on us? That's okay. He won.
Hallelujah, brother, I've been born again.
Oh, you were in
I told you,
Hollywood.
brother. Yeah, I should say sister. Here's
Oh.
Lois and Ted, and she's not here. Come on in, Lois.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Melissa.
Yeah, you just missed your mom.
Have you ever met Paige?
I'm
Paige, yes.
Stuart
Oh,
Starter.
Judy
How are
Starter.
you?
Florida. Nice to see you again.
Sure thing. You just sit right
Hi,
down.
Bob. Did we
Yeah,
just see
well-
Mom drive
Yes.
away?
She
Did
and
you see
Cara
her?
went grocery shopping.
Yeah, Cara went
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
And they won't be long because they're just going to Bernie's out there at Woodbury Heights or out Winona.
really?
It's called
Okay.
Winona.
Okay.
And she doesn't have that much to buy, but she bought some stuff that she needs.
Is Mom already driving?
And she driving, sure. Hey, she's a good driver.
Okay.
Wait, what is it? We just saw. I said, "Here's my mother." Just
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, where did you see her? It must have been
Same
on Delaware
street.
Street somewhere.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Or Gerard, maybe.
She was just getting up to the corner.
Okay, good. Well, I'm
It's
glad
funny.
to see her. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be right
And
back.
I didn't expect you to be here this quick, but you made good time too.
Oh, we were practically here when I called. We were practically
Oh, you called
here.
from the phone.
Yes, we were in the cell. Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I don't even think of those things.
Yeah, right.
See,
Yeah.
that's how it is nowadays.
Hard to get used to.
I know. What did we ever do before cell phones, Grandad? You know?
We write it down.
Oh my.
Really, it's just the, I guess to put it in a few words, it's the idea of using a walker
Mm-hmm.
and getting into the car. And there's really not much to talk about, just a matter of common sense but there's like first things first of, one small step at a time, don't be in a hurry,
Right.
and then to, always have a handle of something support that you can depend on, and to get close enough and back into the car and sit down and then turn towards the windshield. In other words, don't go in like one way at
Right.
a time like I'm used to doing.
Right, it's
And
it
then
together.
that would put all the weight on this one
Right.
right leg, which common sense would tell you, well, it'd be better to sit down square
Mm-hmm.
and then swivel
Mm-hmm.
on the seat. And that's about all. Sort of stupid in my mind, but then I can condemn a lot of things as being stupid.
Yeah, just
Probably the more brilliant people take credit for it.
But that's a habit. I mean, we've
Well,
all gotten
yeah.
that's how
into.
you get it right.
So you have
Yeah.
to. That's kind of hard because you have to break that habit,
Well,
you
it's
know,
true.
and form a new one. So I guess that's probably the hardest
It's
thing.
true, uh-huh.
Now,
It
when
is
you,
true.
how do you put your walker in the trunk or back seat and then use the car? to
Well,
walk?
both really, but anyway, I've been putting it in the back seat,
Back seat.
or I've been wanting to, let's put it that way, because I want to help with Ruthie driving. Then I said, well, let me use the walker to go around on the right side of the car. And so then just because I have the walker, and so she then doesn't have to come all the way around and then open the trunk and do the bit into the trunk, I just put it in the back seat. And it goes in there easy anyway. You collapse the thing and
Right,
it
right.
fits right in like a card table or something,
Sure. Yeah.
No problem. The common sense way to do it in my mind. But if there's something else, or if the back seat's loaded, well then, yeah, you have to use the trunk. But it's goofy. But interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of some other interesting things. I had a wonderful therapist guy by the name of John Tilden,
Mm-hmm.
and a young guy. But he works for an outfit by Fox Physical Therapy Rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And he comes around. He sort of acts like a trainer of some kind.
Really? Get you going?
Well, that's what I credited him with his value, because he said, introduced himself and said, okay, well, I'm here to do this, and let's go. We're going to exercise, get your walker, and that was the main thing he wanted me to do instead of sitting here.
Get up and
Get
go.
up and get going
Yeah.
and do something. And anytime you want to sit down, well, not don't sit down, but sit down. But when you sit down, then figure on doing something else, like he has some exercises.
Oh, with your lifting your knees.
Yeah, where they kick up to do the thigh muscle here. And then he had some others for your buttocks muscle, and even your ankle stuff. And then he had some things where they squeeze together to develop your thigh And then also it mostly resistant exercises,
Right, right.
which makes sense.
And it's working. You're getting better.
Well, yeah, everybody tells me I'm doing pretty good, and I'm getting ready. I want to get rid of the walkers as soon as I can, because I find that they're as much a hazard as they are.
Yeah,
good.
that's like my grandmother. She broke her hip, and now
Yeah,
she doesn't need the walker anymore. And
Your mom and dad,
Yeah.
of course, when they were here, they were a big help.
because we just went through all this with Grandma.
Just telling us about what they went through, and you and Cara, and the gang down there trying and helping with your niece,
Yeah,
and that's wonderful.
yeah.
And then they came up with a medicine, Flagyl, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Flagyl, Flaxel.
Something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, that makes you feel better.
No, well, yeah, I have to
Is
say, it gave me the confidence of some control.
Oh,
I don't know that I really feel better, but then I didn't really feel bad to begin with.
yeah.
But I didn't like the loss of my control.
Sure.
And that was really a hassle of time and timing. you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did help a great deal then, but boy, that's a horrible taste.
Oh yes. I remember my
Yeah.
grandmother. It gives,
And then your mom was saying
Let's keep
about
taking it.
having some side
had
effect,
side effects.
and I know that I had get a real dry
yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
It was one of them.
But you gotta get. But it makes you better. Makes you better.
Well, that's what Ruth said. Well, it makes you better. I said, well,
So you gotta
it makes you
yeah.
better, but
Are
sometimes.
you still taking it, Grandad?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
still
got it.
taking this
Got
stuff,
it.
and
Got
Dr.
it.
Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, she's there waiting for because I tell her I hate it with a passion, because it's one of these medicines that's weird. It doesn't have a coating where as soon as it hits your moisture of your mouth, it starts to disintegrate.
Really? Real quick,
And you get
huh?
that taste,
That
and
taste.
I can't tell you what it tastes like. I never tasted anything like it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
But it's a very caustic kind of a taste. Exactly what a caustic taste is, I don't know.
Right.
you know
but
that
that's
But
what
it
it is.
sounds good.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of yeah, I remember my grandmother.
And then the thing sticks right here in my esophagus
Oh.
and wants to make me half sick of my stomach.
But then you drink water, don't you?
I
Help it
drink
get
water,
down?
I eat peaches, I eat pears to help it go down.
Oh.
I eat peanut butter,
You're
crackers,
like anything to get it to.
anything.
Oh.
And it still will do the same thing. Weird that it is, and of course, it must be old me.
Well,
Not
we're gonna go
necessarily.
get Lewis and then come back later on.
Oh, okay, Ted.
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
She
I
ought
can see you.
I'd say she ought to be back within the half hour anyway, Ted.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
And I'll tell her that you stopped, so,
Okay.
and you're coming back.
Right.
Okay, Ted.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's good.
Okay. You got all kinds of action, man, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
you're busy, man.
We ought to be selling balloons or something.
Make some money off of it.
Yeah, come and visit me.
Which, guess what? I got something to show you.
What?
In fact, you're going to
can-
do it because you brought the subject up.
Okay.
Let's see, right there on that tabletop,
Uh-huh.
there's a long stick. If you would, bring it over here.
Oh, yeah,
One
Mr.
of
Griff.
these therapists, which happens to be a little girl, and all due respect to your gender, you're all marvelous, wonderful. This girl happened to be Jennifer.
Yeah.
And along with her other talents she was an occupational therapist.
Oh, yeah, okay.
A little bit different than the other
The other
therapists
guy.
for some reason I really quite don't understand. But this is a tool that's
is it?
supposed to be an assistant tool,
To get things.
Which, if
Ah,
you-
look at that.
because you're not supposed to bend over like this.
So you go and.
Now why exactly, I don't know. Nobody ever explained to me.
So you don't have to.
But
Well, how's
anyway,
it work?
yeah, if you wanted to get this.
But that's hard. There's nothing there to
Well,
grab.
there's a hooker.
Yeah, well then you have to do something else.
That's true. Yeah, well, it doesn't work.
I say, well that's what.
Now, you know, I do have to tell you, my grandmother had one of these, and it had a clasp.
Well, they
And
had
she would
those
hit
too.
a button, and it would clasp. So she
Yeah.
would clasp it.
Yeah, well,
Grab it.
that was.
And my kids loved it.
That was
Oh, yeah.
$2. This was $1.50.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't pay for it. She gave it to me as a gift.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
that was nice.
Because I'm cheap. And I said, I wouldn't give you $1.50 for it.
Yeah, that's neat. So do you use it?
No.
No.
Well,
Well, you need it, yeah.
well,
It's easier to
That's
bend
the
over
right
and get it into Grandad.
I don't mean to sound too disrespectful, but I had to criticize some of those therapists
Yeah.
in as much as my travels because I'm an old man. I've been around a little bit, you know.
Uh-huh.
And one of the places that I've been was Underwood Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
having had that little stroke or something.
Mm-hmm.
They said, oh yeah, well you're qualified to go up to the Lady of Lords in Camden. They have a rehabilitation department that is equal to none. It's marvelous, a marvelous reputation. I said, well, what really makes it so good? They said, well, those people up there are really tough on you. They make you do everything yourself.
Oh,
They don't
hard
do
on
things
it.
like tie your shoes and all that.
They make you do it.
I said, well, shouldn't that be the way it is?
Yeah.
You know? And they said, well, yeah. I said, well, then why I could do that at home? Why can't I go home and do it?
Right.
And then the stupid thing, they said, well, do you want to go home? I said, hell yeah, I want to
Yeah,
go home.
I want
I
to
want
get
to
out
go
of
home
here.
and back, you know, be like a normal person.
Sure.
But out here, well, wherever it was, I'm not sure where I was, to tell you the truth, at this rehabilitation center.
Huh.
What did they call that?
Must-
Just for the sake of something better, like a space station.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they called it Manicare.
Right.
There's one called Manicare.
Right.
And that's like on Jessup Road.
Okay.
But anyway, the
Hmm.
whole point in
Yeah, so you went there, then you went to, from Manicare, you went to Sunset something, or
Sunrise.
Sunrise?
Sunrise, yeah. And
Okay.
that's a, well, it's the same idea but different.
But Ruth stayed with you, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
she arranged the whole thing
That's great.
and stayed with me. Yeah, and it was very good and it was very educational, very good experience. But interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and then just touching this knee, I got a touch of arthritis in that knee.
Oh.
And Ruthie, she says that she read this story about the itis
Mm-hmm.
and that those
Arthritis.
that Arthur is
Uh-huh.
the worst one of them all.
Yeah. That hurts.
Yeah.
No, she's still getting acupuncture in her knees for
Yeah.
her
Does
arthritis.
she?
And she
Does it
believes in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you tried that?
I tried it and gave it up the first shot.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like, eh.
Didn't want to go back.
It hurt? Did it hurt?
Well, it hurt. Yes, it hurt enough.
Yeah.
And it's confining where you have to lay on your back for a whole half hour.
Mm-hmm.
And the particular doctor that we went to, which was a good doctor, MD, qualified, he picked out places in your ears.
Really?
Pressure points
Or
and
in your
stuff.
one ear anyway. Then. And then he said, well, you know, tell me when you feel it. And then you sort of prick it. And then put this little pin in it. And anyway, so much for that. That was his main drag. And I didn't think, it cost $100 a pop.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
a half an hour treatment.
It's
And
expensive.
I didn't think it was worth it. So I didn't go
So
back.
stop going. Yeah, because that's not covered by insurance, right? Acupuncture. And,
No,
that
no,
stuff.
it isn't. But it will be.
yeah, they should
Because
be.
it's getting so more and more, it's getting to be recognized.
Yeah,
Now
alternative
I got this
medicine.
new guy, this Jeff Brook, I think his name, a real good young man that I was just introduced to him because when we came home, the guy I had out at Sunrise, I'm making a big long lot of talk over this thing.
No, you're fine, Grandad. We want to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Anyway, he said that he'd come out to the house and give me physical therapy out here.
Oh, that's good.
But then called and said that he couldn't because this didn't include his area, and another guy would be coming out, but as a young man, and he thought that I would like him, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I almost like him just as well or better than the other guy.
Really?
But he was a real good take charge. I told you, kind of like a drill sergeant at base camp.
Make you do
And in
things.
fact, I asked him, I said, have you ever been a cadre in a military training? And he said, no, I've never been in the military at all. I said, well, you may be good.
You should be.
Because he, like Uncle Tom was saying with his trainer, he said,
Yeah.
he comes along, wakes him up and says, come on,
Yeah.
time to get going.
Let's go.
And that's it.
Yeah. And they make you work
Yeah.
hard. Make you work
He
hard.
comes here now, Granddad?
He comes here, yeah. Well, there's other guy by the name of Jeff Brook,
Right.
who's the other newer. In fact, then he came. See, I go on and give you my whole life history. But anyway, so many things have happened.
He
Yeah.
comes here.
One
How
thing.
often does he come?
Well, I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess there isn't any one set rhythm of time.
Hmm.
Is it like
But-
every day, or he comes every other day? Or?
No, I'd say maybe every other day at best.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he'll come and then just say, well, I won't see you until maybe day after.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't every day,
Uh-huh.
or nothing like twice a day.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good because he's probably making sure you're
Yeah,
doing
and
good and
it-
can check and see when you'll. And now they say that you'll be able to eventually just give up the walker completely.
oh
huh?
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. He said that I'm coming along really pretty good, and that
Yeah.
they're satisfied with the accomplishment I'm making.
Good.
Now, do they
Mostly-
want you to go to a cane at that point, or you're on your own completely?
Well, that's what I don't quite understand.
Probably just depends on how you are. Because my
Yeah.
grandmother was with the walker, and now she uses the cane.
Okay.
But then she
Uh-huh.
doesn't. She
Yeah,
can't,
well,
you know.
I guess the next step is that they'll encourage me to use a cane,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I never have liked a cane because the things are always in the way. They're a handicap. They wonder where they are, what you've done with it. But then
Yeah.
you girls love that with your pocket.
Oh yeah, same thing, right? Where's my
Talk
purse?
about your handicap.
What do I do with my purse? She'll be, where's my cane?
Yeah, and I'm on the stump for civilization to get rid of the damn idea that damn handicap pocketbook.
We need it.
Yeah,
We need
get-
our
sure like a hole
Big
in the head.
wallet
Yeah.
and our
We
makeup.
need to
What?
have something to put our crap in.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
Well, that's always the answer.
Yeah.
I have to use your restroom. Is it right over here?
Help yourself.
I'll be right back.
I hope it's all right.
We ate so much at Ponzio's. We're like,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah, it is marvelous old world. Like I hate to make, and I'm not making fun of you. I had
No.
two sisters that were both going to vote for Curry. It turned out they didn't, and I didn't vote at all.
I know you didn't.
And so I was glad when I talked to my sister Kathleen that she did vote for Bush.
What changed their mind? Do you know?
Well, I guess she talked to my other sister Muriel, and the idea was that, well, no matter who got elected, you know, there wasn't any real worry. The world's going to go on,
Sure.
and pretty much the way it's always gone on.
Mm-hmm.
And so they say, well, and I don't really know what the deciding factor was.
Because I've heard that. I've heard some people saying, well, I was going to vote for Kerry and then I voted for Bush, or I was
Yeah.
going to vote for Bush and I voted for Kerry. And I wondered what changed their mind.
Yeah.
Was there one particular you know, I don't know. I
Yeah,
or
and it's
something.
an interesting question, and I guess maybe we might find out come time for inauguration as it gets closer, but nobody seems to want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, because I've asked purposely, I said, well, what is your disposition like, say, Nancy, Ruth's daughter,
Right.
who,
Well, you were getting.
she is really something because she was,
She's the reason you put the bumper sticker on your car,
yeah,
wasn't
oh
she?
yeah.
You told me that in October.
Yeah, I did tell you that.
Yeah, when Miss and I came out, and I said, I was just teasing you, giving you a hard time about having the Bush Cheney bumper sticker.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
you said you weren't going to do it, except that they always kept going on and on and on
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
her son